live.
It does.
It says we're going live. It says we're here.
It does.
I almost forgot to do the it says we're going live thing. This is going to be an interesting episode if I can't even remember to do what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
Or what I like to do, actually.
Oh,
I'm not
goodness.
supposed to do that.
There we are.
Okay, do we look crooked on your screen? Because we always look crooked on my screen.
You look very short.
I like to sit below you. That's just a thing. I like to do a lot of things below you, but that is not the topic for this week. Silent says we're all here, so I think my existence has been validated.
There you go.
So, I don't know what you're doing. Ads?
No.
Oh, you're doing a thing. Okay.
I was trying to see. I can't get the chat sideways.
Oh, yeah. It gets weird.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
Kayla Lords.
John Brownstone.
Of Loving BDSM, where we help kinksters like you have happy, healthy power exchange relationships. This is our weekly live stream where we record our podcast, the audio version of which hits all major podcast apps every Friday. We are here 7 minutes early. If you are here for the live stream and you don't like idle chit chat, you got a few minutes. If you are here after the live stream, but before I put in timestamps, fast forward by about 7 minutes if you don't like idle chit chat. Yay! Okay. Hi, Kitty. Hi, Freckled Awesomeness. Hi, Silent. Hi, Bad Cat. I know it's hi, X. It's not time for you.
For me yet.
No.
Can't do it this early.
I get it. I'm not asking you to. Hi, Judy. What have we got for the butt rub?
Well, I had started on a new project here around the house this past weekend.
Oh, yeah.
With the weather starting to turn nice, hopefully soon we're going to be able to open the windows.
Oh, fingers crossed.
Yeah. And I started rescreening the windows. Mm-hmm. They were in dire need.
Yeah, both age and cats.
Yeah.
Both.
Yep. And I managed to find they had a screen that's I don't want to say pet resistant, but it's
meant to
meant to hold up better to.
Right, exactly.
And got that, and I've been rescreening with that, and it's been going real well. They're looking good.
And at this point, all we have to do is buy more screen. You have everything else you need.
Oh, I have
right?
everything else. I have the tools.
Yeah.
I had those actually.
Sure, of course.
And spline, the spline go on forever.
Yeah, when you bought the 100-foot or 100 whatever, I was like, do you need that much?
Yeah, especially since I'm gonna work my way around the house.
Yeah, and it was not expensive. Thankfully. No, we are attempting slowly but surely, because time is the bigger factor than money, to do small things around the house. So the screen, we had to buy primer because we still need to put the baseboards back up in our kitchen from when we had the floor redone several months ago now. Yeah, that. I think we take the hibernating in summer thing really seriously. We don't have a lot of energy in the summer, for sure.
No, we don't.
The humidity sucks it all out of you.
Yeah, it does.
So when you bought primer, I was like, oh, and we only got a little can because it's only a few things. It's not a lot. I was like, ooh, how can we use the primer? Well, I'm going to finally, a thing I've wanted to do since we literally moved in here in 2020, going to repaint the front door.
Yeah.
It needs it, and also I want it to be a pop of color and not just like a white door. So I still to this day have all the paint chips we collected when we went to Lowe's several days ago in the bottom of my purse. I have been many places since that trip to Lowe's. And they are still at the bottom of my purse. I have not pulled them up to hold them against the house and go, is this the door color? Is that the door color? I don't know. Now, there was a time in life I thought I was going to have a purple front door.
Yeah.
Not like a violet, not like a bright, like a dark either eggplant or plum, like a dark purple that I really enjoy because that's one of my favorite colors. But that will not go with the house. The house is a cool gray, blue kind of color, the outside of the house. And when if we ever repaint the outside, we're going to keep it that color. We like the color of our house. So I was like, the color I like, purple, will not go with the house. So thankfully, I really like blue too. So I'm picking a blue color. So, yeah.
So, yeah, we've been doing that. And, you know, just doing.
Yeah. I will complain about it later. It's actually not a complaint. It's been really like nice, but I've been working on the Kinky project. I got like six hours today where I could just focus on working on it, and then lost all track of time. Time had no meaning. What do you mean I have to stop and eat some lunch? I do, because nobody wants me to be hangry. But yeah. So that's coming along. I'm actually scared because changing the Kinky over to a different website provider host means that I will be the one responsible for it, not the person who's been helping us for years, who helps us with the Living BDSM website and helps me with every website I've ever owned. Yeah, it's a little scary.
Yeah.
So, but Silent, you know what? I know, and okay, so Inside Baseball, for anybody who's not part of our Patreon, we do a behind the scenes podcast episode every month. We were late for September, so we recorded it before the live stream, and there are some things that I talked about in that. And Silent, if you listen to that episode, you'll be saying the same thing. Oh no, she doesn't have ADHD. That's not possible. Yeah. So.
And so far, we're very happy with the Canon web utility.
Yes, and I really want to try the setting that lets us have better stream/video quality.
Yeah,
but we're in the free trial, and you have to have the paid version to access it. But that's one of the things that's frustrated me since we started streaming.
I know.
I've never, on a big screen, I've never liked the quality.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, most places when you have a free trial, you get
everything. I know.
You get to go under the hood, so it is a little frustrating, but you know.
But as far as I can tell, if you see it, let me know. I have not seen a lag like we were having ages ago. We're not crashing in the middle of a stream.
Exactly. That's the big thing. It's been very stable thus far.
So unfortunately, we are going to give Canon our $5 a month or whatever.
Yeah. And, I'm going to dust off the Elgato and hook that up and see how that works with the whole system.
It is 7:00, so we can begin.
Okay. Hi, everyone.
I remembered. He remembered. You do a fake out. You start pushing buttons, and I'm afraid you're going to push the wrong button while I'm waiting, and I'm trying to be patient because I'm trying to be the best baby girl ever. Not sure I'm doing a good job there, but I'm trying. Okay. So as you can tell from the title, we are answering questions that were asked over on Instagram at that handle I will forever fucking hate. If you know, you know. We had a personal chaotic week this week. It's only Wednesday, and it's been personally chaotic, and the chaos has not been resolved yet. So we took another easy out for the topic this week.
I'll talk a little bit about that in the bonus section.
So that's why we're doing what we're doing. If you are on the Instagram and you don't follow us, I would love for you to follow us. Because that's where I post. I keep meaning to post them to like all the other sites that we're on, but like I make memes for reels that are Power Exchange themed, and I crack myself up. If anybody else laughs, that's a bonus. I think I'm funny, and that's where I also will post on stories and ask for questions. So, if you're on the gram and you're not following us, link is down below. If you enjoy this, we love a thumbs up. If you like it enough to want to come back for more, please consider subscribing.
And go ahead and hit that notification bell to get updates and new content.
Just do what Daddy says. And if you want more of this, and to know
you do
to know what we say in our behind the scenes podcast, and to get access to our Discord server, you can join us on Patreon. You have to be a paid member to access the features. can join for as little as $2 a month. If you do the annual, then it comes out to like $22 for a whole year. And you get all the basic stuff. Like just the other day, Sunday night, we did game night. We play an online version of Cards Against Humanity. This month, the last Sunday of the month, we'll watch a movie. I intend for it to be somehow October/Halloween themed, but not a horror. I don't do scary. That's not happening on my watch. Okay. But we do things like that. And, I like to think we have a good time. So if you're interested, you want to help us do this thing that we do, you can join us at patreon.com/KaylaLords. Link is always down below. Yeah, I think I said all the thing. Okay.
So I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to also
turn on the fan. The doodle-lolly. Okay, before we get into answering questions, announcement time. But if I don't get my notes up, I'll say something wrong. So the first announcement is a programming note. This would have happened this week, except I don't know how calendars and time work. I was convinced this day we're on October 1st was really going to be September 30th. I don't know where I got that from. I knew there were 30 days in the month. I didn't miscount. I just don't know how calendars work. So we're supposed to be off our summer schedule as of October, and next week we will be. So we are changing the time again. This will be, it's a fourth time change, really, if you think about it. We used to stream at noon, then we went to 1, and now we're like, nope, we need more time on Wednesdays. We can't. Stream days used to be the only thing we did was stream and record and do this kind of stuff. And we kind of can't. We need more time working on the Kinky. Thekinky.com. So, our live stream time starting next week, I hope I remember when I schedule it, will be 3 p.m. Eastern. I know that's not a good time for some folks. For some folks, that's not your lunch hour. For some folks, your time zone makes it like middle. I know. If I could figure out the perfect time that worked for all of us, I would do it. I have not found that time yet. That time we think will work the best for us because of how our days run. And also, I don't mind doing the 7 p.m. in the summer. But there's because to avoid the heat, but there's something about doing this later in the day that makes me feel like I don't have any time for myself. Big air quotes there. I have plenty of time for myself. I don't know what it is. Like, it's fun, like the first month, and by like September, I'm like, oh my God, I'm kind of done with the 7 o'clock. Because I like to be complicated and difficult. Okay, next, our trans affirming care resource of the week. If you don't know what that's about, you gotta go listen to last week's episode. I promised not to be long-winded on that after I did it the first time. Is Point of Pride. Point of Pride provides financial aid and direct support to trans folks in need of health and wellness care. We have donated to them ourselves. We are not utilizing them as a resource yet. For why we would need to know them. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go listen to last week's episode. They provide, I wrote it down because I was afraid I'd forget. Okay.
There you go.
They have multiple funds for helping trans folks get the care they need. So they have a surgery fund. They have an HRT fund. That one was fascinating. That works like a scholarship program. So they are partnered with like 4 different places. 2 or 3 are online. 1 or 2 are in person, I think, for gender affirming care, medical transition, stuff like that. And what they do is for 18 months, they actually pay directly to the telehealth or the doctor's office or whoever that is that they're partnered with for trans people to get their care. They pay for labs, they pay for prescriptions. I was like, that's amazing. I like that. They have an electrolysis fund for folks who are like dealing with hair stuff. That one hits close to home with our experience personally lately. They have what they call the Thrive Fund, which covers what the other 3 funds don't, so mostly non-medical stuff. And then they also mail out free chest binders and femme shapewear. So you don't have to you have to apply, like put in your information for the free binders and shapewear, and that's ongoing all year long. And then the funds, they open up at certain times of the year. So if you or anybody you know and care about could use a resource like that for, their medical needs, feel free. Point of Pride. We learned about them through Mercury Stardust on Instagram, aka the Trans Handy Ma'am. They are delightful. I freaking love her.
I've learned a few things from her.
Oh, they know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's so sweet. Like I've watched reels where Mercury will be like, the person has made a reel and the Mercury stitched it, right, to like answer the question of this thing that's happened in their house and they don't know how to fix it, and they're like freaking out. They're like, oh my god, I'm so bad at this, I'll never get this fixed. And Mercury looks into the camera and goes, you can do this, I have complete faith in you. I'm just like, oh my god, this isn't even about me, and I feel better. Anyway, that's where we heard of Point of Pride. If you don't need or know anybody who could use those resources, but you want to like be a part of something and help trans folks out in this fucking world we live in right now, you can donate, just direct cash. That's what we've done before. You can volunteer. You don't have to go anywhere. You write kind and affirming notes that go in the boxes that get sent out to trans people who need the shapewear and stuff, or you can help fundraise. Like you can, and I'm gonna look into that. Maybe the Loving BDSM community needs to do a fundraiser. I don't know. Well, no promises. So I said I wasn't going to be long-winded, but nobody believed that, did you? Okay. Point of Pride. Link is in the places. That's my spiel. Okay. We are answering questions.
Okay.
And I am hoping that I still remember where to go to get them. Actually, I'm so paranoid I screenshotted them in case like I couldn't. And I was like, oh, yeah, how does this work?
Yeah.
Okay. First question. This one is definitely for me. What kind of tasks do you do? So I have the set tasks that we negotiated ages ago, and then I have as needed tasks. So the set tasks, I get the coffee pot ready at night, so all JB has to do is push a button when he's not caffeinated and kind. He's a grumpy polar bear without that coffee. I also get the bed ready. I pull it down. I put JB's pillows exactly like he likes before we go to bed. In the morning, I make the iced coffee for the day. I put out his probiotics so he will remember to take it. I also, at the end of the day, put out his magnesium so he remembers to take that.
Then you make the bed.
I do. I make the bed. I have to explain myself if I don't make the bed. It's usually I have to change the sheets. And this is how I will remind myself to change the sheets. There was a time in life I'd never made my bed. As a kid, I never did. Into my 20s, I never did. You want to know when I started making the bed? When I got divorced and I had pretty sheets and nobody in my fucking bed. It's delightful. And then it's become a habit and I like how it looks, so I just do it. So I get kind of antsy when I don't make the bed. It's a good habit to have. Am I missing anything? Oh, when we're in the car, when you need your sunglasses, even if I don't think he needs them, I ask, do you want your sunglasses? And then he decides, but I always hand them over. We have absolutely, anybody with glasses knows what I'm talking about, we're speeding down the highway and I'm passing and exchanging glasses.
Yeah.
Like in that sort of like, don't blink, don't fall off the road kind of thing.
That's one of those times when you want to hit a red light.
I know, and you do not hit a red light.
And every freaking light is green.
So for tasks, those are the things that are set every time. There are other things that are part of our routine and our protocols, but that's not what you asked. You asked about tasks. Yeah. Then there's the as needed. So JB needs something, and he will assign it to me either through the Obedience app now, or he'll just verbalize it or write it down for me. And that can be research a thing, find me the name of, find me the phone number of, like whatever he might need. And it does tend to be those kind of administrative tasks. I don't mind. He knows I don't mind. We did have to work around and renegotiate can you just walk up and tell me the thing without me being, one, without me forgetting it, and two, without me being overwhelmed. And that was, I think, frustrating for both of us because we both wanted it to be the way it was when I was still in my 30s. So you could just tell me a thing and my steel trap of a brain could hold it and then go do it. And there was no overwhelm at all. And
Same.
It is not like that anymore. So the way JB does it now, we've only done it a couple times, but he'll actually put it in the Obedience app and I'll get the notification. And that one was a research thing. Find me a recipe for. So those are the kinds of tasks. They're very service oriented. I prefer my tasks to be part of my routine, something I'm doing consistently, maybe not every day, but in enough of a set routine where I can remember that I need to do it. One task, it goes 2 tasks that goes through the obedience app. I bring him my collar to have it put on. I cannot sleep in my collar. Some people can. I cannot. Nothing can touch my neck. Can't sleep. And then I also fold our laundry. And the task of folding the laundry is really the division of labor of the house. Is not really about our power exchange. But when I get that laundry folded, that's about our power exchange. Not that I fold it, when I get it folded. So those are my tasks. But they're very, they're household oriented. They're beneficial for JB oriented, make his life a little easier, that kind of thing. Okay, next question. What's the one piece of advice you wish you learned earlier into BDSM, and how did it change you?
Goodness. Wow, that's I think the thing that shocked me the most, that was the biggest game changer for me, that is real life BDSM is not what you see in porn or in Tumblr or any of those places.
No.
You know, and prior to that, pretty much that's what I had seen online. You know, even from the old bulletin board rooms, chat rooms. Same kind of thing. So, you know, when when actually entering the community and finding out, it's really not like that.
Not for more than a scene at a time.
Which actually was kind of okay with me.
Right. It can be very overwhelming, for sure.
Because, you see some of that stuff and you're like, I got to live up to that.
Right. I have to always be stern. I have to always be on my knees. I can't, There are folks who incorporate more of it into their daily lives than others. We are very relaxed. But everybody has their own limit of how much you can do it before the other parts of your life kind of seep in and have to take priority. That's why we function with our power exchange the way we do, where it's kind of baked in. There's not a lot of, baby girl, go do this, because we're busy fucking people. So it's like, let me set expectations and let you go, and I'll come to you as needed. And then we have certain understanding between each other, like how we'll speak to one another and how we address one another. But the rest of it is just us living our life, and power exchange is just woven through that, instead of it being very prescriptive and this is how we live our lives and this is what we do when we're in sub mode or dom mode, and then somehow there's a break for the other parts of our lives. Well, not really. He's always daddy. He is always the decider, and heaven help us, I'm always baby girl at my best and at my worst. And I tend to be that kind of person that I am naturally of service, air quote that's a subjective term, to whoever I love and care for. So too much to the kids, I gotta back off with the youngest, and so it comes easy to me to do it for him as part of our power exchange, because that's what I would be inclined to do anyway. This is just negotiated and understood, and there's parameters and there's boundaries and blah blah blah. So the real life v fantasy is the sooner folks can get that in their head and then decide that actually real life is good actually, I think the better off most people would be. With me, I think it's actually a life lesson less than a kink lesson, but it applies because there's all of these things transfer across each other, and it is that the thing that you are doing today in your kink life and your power exchange that you love, the routine, the protocols, the rules, the fuckery, the blip, whatever, it is meant to shift and change over time, because everything in life shifts and changes. I used to get very torn up about the fact that when we could no longer do a thing, that's how we had done it for months or years. I would have this sort of internal, is there something wrong with me that we can no longer? No, it's that life shifted. We shifted, health, money, kid, whatever. And your power exchange in your kink life adjusts to your reality. If you are trying to force that round peg into that square hole and it's not a good fit anymore, I mean, it could be kinky, but that's, And it's not happening, is what I'm saying. You just made yourself miserable, and you're not actually living the kink life that you love, even though that routine you had, that thing you did, was what you loved. Now, the moment I kind of wrapped my head around it and got comfortable with the fact that, no, this is how this is supposed to go, because this is how life goes. Nothing bad lasts forever. Nothing good lasts forever. It's just a constant shift. I became much more relaxed about it and just, understood, okay, this is part of the process. I mean, did we get a crash course from going from long distance to moving in? Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
mm-hmm. that was a managing expectations thing more than a life adjustment, because we thought we had planned for the life adjustment, and then life lifed and we had to readjust. But from that point, 2014, we moved in together, pretty cyclically. I won't say consistently, but there's sort of a cycle of things that we over time shift a little bit. My main tasks have not shifted that much. Do the coffee. Mm-hmm. Maybe the way I make the coffee has changed when I do it. Certain, like those, I think I get a lot of comfort for that, because that has been consistent over the years. But how quickly I do it, the way I do it, your expectations of it, what we've added, what we've taken away, those are the shifts I'm talking about. So I think that allowed me to relax and to understand, okay, the shifting of how we're going to do things, the easing back of some things, the strengthening of others, that is absolutely normal. It's going to happen. I have not failed. The power exchange is not failing. This is life, and it happens to all parts of our life, including our DS. Okay, next one. Mm-hmm. It feels impossible to date as a fat, kinky femme. Advice.
I wouldn't know where to begin. I've been so...
Yeah. I mean, you are... I look to you, though, because you appreciate fat, kinky femmes. Like, you love you a big girl. And not in a fetishizing way. Like, you just want something to be able to hold on to. And I appreciate that. I'm going to give you so much to hold on to. I
find it attractive. I like... It's what I like.
I know. I'm just saying... From that perspective, do you have any, like, as to being the person who would be the partner of a fat kinky femme, of the connection of the coming together?
See, I don't even think about it in those kind of terms. For me, it comes down to things like personality.
Right. Yeah.
What kind of moral compass the person has, sense of humor.
Right.
And of course hygiene, but
we do appreciate hygiene.
Yeah. But I mean, things like that.
I know
is what makes the person
right. And I think if you, in whatever body you're in, or for folks who maybe like have a physical disability or whatever, right, that makes you feel like you can't find a partner. The first thing I want you to look at is, who are you surrounded by? Are you part of an online or in-person community that is kind of homogenous and everybody looks the same, and maybe they don't look like you, or they are kind of similar and you do not fit into that group? Well, now it's time to, we got to change our friend group. We got to change our community. We got to go be where we are accepted as who we are. The sad state of affairs is the stuff that I've joked about this before, because I tend to fall into a vanilla heterosexual algorithm every once in a while, and it's a sad state of affairs of the dating world these days. Yeah. Oh my God. But kinksters are just a cross-section of humanity. We tend to handle some things better, but we are still people, and so there are still, we would call them sometimes a fake dom, or like a bad sub. I mean, of any gender, of any whatever. But there are those people, regardless of gender, who are shitty. They are not real with you. They'll use people for as long as they can. They won't commit, or they'll ghost, or they'll gaslight, or whatever. They're out for themselves. They're not actually trying to make a genuine connection. And that will always exist somewhere. So if you find yourself in a space where there are not others like you, there are not others who are into you, can you shift your space, right? Is it the munch? We have walked into munches where we're like, we do not feel like we fit in, and also we're not being made welcome. Well, it's real hard to meet people if you're in a space like that. There are sort of micro communities for almost any and all identities. I'm sure within the BDSM community as well. FetLife can be a place where you have to sift through a lot of crap, but there can be those spaces where
Fet's not really a dating site, but people have met through there,
right? And it's where you can find community, because our thing is, and we will preach it forever, is we think, and I don't care what kind of power exchange kink relationship you're trying to have with somebody, even casual, I think on some level you should like that person as a human before you worry about liking them as a kinkster, right? And in return they should like you as a person before the kink thing, right? And that's the thing. See if you can find spaces for yourself where you can just become friends with people, or maybe even the pressure is off to try and meet a partner, and you become friends with somebody. Maybe it becomes more, maybe it doesn't. Maybe they introduce you to other kinky people and now you've made connections. Maybe they invite you to the party and you meet the love of your life there. Like, there's no predicting it, but that is, there's no single site I can tell you to go to. I don't know of any that are like made for, any specific group. I'm sure they're out there. I just don't know about them. Typically the kink sites are the kink sites, or the places that allow you to be openly kinky and find a partner. They're there, and it's hard to like niche down, right? But be with people who appreciate you regardless of the relationship thing. Quite frankly, if you are kind of like feeling like it's impossible to date, maybe don't date for a while. Maybe be like, I will, whatever it is I need that I'm not getting, how else can I get it? And I'm going to not worry about dating until I'm in a community, or I make a friend, or I'm like connected to somebody in some way that sees me for who I am, not just for the body type. But also the people who love a fat body, and not in the fetishizing, like creepy way, they are 100% out there. Apparently, according to the algorithm, they're all at the gym. Like, apparently the muscle dude bros like love them a chunky partner. Okay. And I'm like, well, apparently I need to go to the gym more to just like stand around.
You're right. I did hear something.
And that is a stereotype. Of course, that's not universally true. But, so yeah, I think if, you're sort of like feeling like it's impossible, take a break from it. Yeah. Go live your best life in other ways, and, find community that's not necessarily about dating. It's just about like chilling with cool people who happen to also be kinky. This one. Feel this one. Next question. How to overcome my fears and give my trust completely? I think the first thing I would say is trust, even as you grant it to somebody, you are not granting them complete and total trust the moment you decide to trust them. It is a bits and pieces thing that grows over time. What I would say is you have to make the first leap of faith to not necessarily overcome a fear, to move through the fear with a little bit of trust. Maybe that is, you'll do the small kink thing with them. You'll tell them one thing, and you kind of put that feeler out there where you're extending trust, right? Even though you're nervous. And then it's their job to show you, to prove to you that you can continue to extend that trust. And that takes as long as it takes. That goes as slowly as it goes. You give as much trust and work through that fear to the extent that you can. And if they are a person worthy of that, they will do the things that allow you to grow more comfortable and to trust more and more, so that you can continue doing that.
Yeah, because I don't think trust is something that is just giving you like, okay, here it is, you got it all, it's no more to give. Right. We're still. After all these years, that is still something that is going on. I don't think it ever stops. It's something that grows and evolves, and it's all part of that. Like you said earlier, nothing we have looks like what it did before. It's something different, and it's the same thing with the trust. That is something that's gradually given over time, and it just keeps
There's not you're talking to somebody, you're getting to know them, and one day you just go, okay, I'm not afraid anymore, and I trust them completely. Let's do that's nope. For the vast majority of us, that's not how it's going to work. You're gonna have to do something and be nervous about it while you do it. But the way I always do it, because I have such trust issues, is I do a thing that I would be disappointed if they broke my trust. I would be sad, but I don't feel like I would be crushed or harmed. That's how slow and small we're talking. And they need to prove to you. And what I mean by prove to you, it's real easy for predatory people and wannabes and users and abusers to say the right things. But they will, unless they're one of those just, oh my God, people, and those are the exceptions, but there are people who are super extreme. So I'm talking about your average, everyday Joe Schmo, right? They're gonna trip up. They're not gonna be consistent, or they're not gonna come across as sincere, and you're gonna get a feeling like, is that actually real? I don't know if I buy it. Like, there's gonna be something that kind of can clue you in when they're not being consistent. So that's what you're looking for. It's not what they do one time. It's what they do over and over and over again, consistently, in a pattern. And that's when you know that they are somebody that you can continue to develop trust with.
Right. And also, on the big D side, they got to be patient.
Yeah, everybody's got to be patient. Let's be real.
Especially early on in the beginning, it's not something you can just, drag out of somebody.
Right. If you are in either side, but yes, specific to dominance, if you're dominant and you are, getting together, getting to know this submissive partner, and they're afraid, they have trust issues. I was very open with it. I don't trust no damn body, and I'm terrified. I've too much pain, I don't know. It is your job to prove that you are a person that they can trust. If that's who you want to be with them, if you want to develop wherever this is going, whatever this is, that's your job. Be consistent, be real, be who the fuck you are.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But also, even if you realize that there's an incompatibility or this is not going to work, still, hold their trust sacred. They're going to be vulnerable with you, potential partner. They're going to, there's going to be intimacies between you. Treat that as the sacred thing that it is. Now, submissives, your doms get to do that with you too. They're going to be vulnerable. They're going to tell you stuff. They're going to have to learn to trust you. Be a person they can trust. So yeah. Okay. Next one. This one's interesting. Because I can't imagine it, even though I have a shitty memory. Because this is not a thing that I would forget. But it's interesting. My sub keeps forgetting the title we've chosen. They use it about 50% of the time. How do I remind them?
Ooh.
My first thought is, does that title resonate with them? Because if it doesn't resonate, that could be part of the problem. The other thing is, do they have memory issues in all other parts of their life? Because if that's the case, then it's not about the title. It's just they got a memory thing, and now you'll need tricks for that. But when I forget something, or when you've dealt with something similar in the past, what is your method for working with that?
Years and years ago, for some reason, I had trouble remembering certain words. Okay? When I first picked up a camera when I was young, and I got a polarizing lens, I could not for the life of me remember polarizing. Okay, what the stupid thing was called. The way I ended up remembering it was I thought of, okay, what's close to polarizing? Polaroid. So I had the first half, and then it led into the rest of the word from there.
Is that a mnemonic device? Or is that a mnemonic device adjacent?
I don't, yeah.
There's a term for making connections like that,
right.
And I can't remember.
I don't know what it is anymore either. I heard of it, but that's what I had done. And throughout, anytime I found a word that I had trouble, I create,
Sure.
a companion word, so to speak.
Yes, absolutely. And that's a great memory trick in general. So if we're talking about this just a memory issue, then I would be looking up different tricks and things to try and tools for how to help somebody, retain a memory like that. That being said, it depends on your dynamic, but there's not a damn thing wrong with leaning into your dynamic. If, there are consequences as part of your power exchange, I would not make it an overly serious consequence, but I would, if they're trying to avoid consequence, maybe do that. If there's any willingness, and also, like, when JB wants me to never act a certain way again, he'll have me write lines. Now, that's not for everybody, but that is just an example of within our caregiver baby girl dynamic that works. So I would lean into your dynamic of how do you discipline, or how do you maintain discipline, or what, if any, consequences exist for when a submissive kind of like oopsies. And then, is there something you can do there to help with the memory?
On the opposite side of that, know your sub, and do they respond better to positive reinforcement? Thank you.
I knew where you were going.
Yeah. If that's something that they respond to, then,
reward when they get it right. I think the first thing I would double check, if it's not like they remember nothing and they struggle with their memory, I would make sure that the title resonates with them. Or check this. Are they trying to be punished? Are they like low-key bratting and there's not been a conversation about bratting? If it's not just a memory thing, see if you can get to the motivation. Yeah. If there's a motivation, right? Like, is there a mental block? Is there like, I'm trying to get under your skin and make something happen? If it's not that, lean into your power exchange of however y'all handle when they don't do what they're supposed to do in other ways. Again, I personally would not recommend coming down too hard for memory lapses. You don't want to make somebody afraid to say something either. But there's, probably something there that, can help them remember a little bit. But it does depend on y'all's dynamic and what kind of, what kind of sub they are, what kind of dom you are, all of that. Okay, this one's for you. Uh-oh. Because on a smaller scale, we've had this moment. How can I, 5'2", continue feeling dominant when my sub is a lot bigger and taller than me, 6'7"? Woo, you need to climb that person like a tree. That let him know who's boss. Sorry, I'm having my own moment. I've been reading too much smut. I don't want to assume there's even sex in your dynamic.
Too many thirst traps on Insta too, I think.
If I had a partner that was that tall, I believe I would just be climbing them. So you are technically now shorter than me. Yes. But when we first met, we were eye to eye, and I struggled with feeling submissive.
You did.
Because you were not bigger and taller.
Because you had it in you that you need to be physically.
So what would you say? Like, how do you feel dominance? How do you maintain that feeling? How do you, like, especially, because you've had partners that there was a significant size difference. You are our short king, and we love you for it. So how does that work for you?
Well, I know with you, it's, you were carrying on about it one night, and I grabbed you by your hair and had you on your knees. Yep. And like, see?
Right. You did the dominant thing and got me into that headspace, and it had nothing to do with size of body and height.
Exactly. And I think that's where it really comes down to, you be yourself, you be your dominant self, and you just be real and consistent, and everything should fall in place. Yep. Because again, height, width, whatever, it doesn't it doesn't matter.
One of my favorite ever scenes to have witnessed, and I hate watching a scene because I get bored and antsy. I'm not a voyeur.
I know the one you're going to talk about.
Their dynamic, at the time, these were their pronouns, so I'm sticking with them because I don't know any different. She was 5'0" nothing.
Oh, yeah.
He was a big old boy.
He was a bear. He was huge.
He was massive. I'd have climbed him like a tree, too, if he'd consented. She flitted around, almost like a butterfly around him, while wailing on him. Their play was impact, and he could take crazy hard impact. And she just went, okay, you're my pinata.
She was not holding back.
But she used, like, she had to work a little harder to get the strength, to get the angles, but she was able to give him experiences from like a sensation point that somebody his own height or taller could not, because she's coming up from the bottom, you know. But she was in scene consensually. She was mean, and they both loved it, and it didn't matter what their size was, because you know, as somebody said in the live chat, and that is true. Dominance is mindset. Dominance is energy. Dominance is the look on your face, the tone of your words, how, you know, what you are doing within the negotiated dynamic. It's nothing to do with size. Yeah. Nothing.
And it was I have to say it was cute as hell watching her cuddle him after.
Oh, now that was hilarious, because you would think she should have been the little spoon.
Right.
But he needed the comfort, and you know, she sort of draped herself up. It was a good scene, because man, I was like, holy shit, he's taken a beating and loving it.
Oh yeah.
But she was this little thing just flitting around him.
She was tiny.
Yeah, she had to
be, because she was small to me.
Yes. So my point is, it doesn't matter, and quite frankly, when somebody's, you know, if you want it to have that experience of being physically above them, because I get it, there's you know, people do use their physical body to dominate, to, you know, be over somebody. They just, maybe they need to be on the ground, and you need to be up taller.
And that was another thing I was just going to say.
Maybe,
you know,
if that's your thing,
learn some of the what are they called, the Gorian kneeling skill, you know, different poses.
So, you know, if you want to work within body size, don't worry about size, body position. You are sitting higher, standing higher, whatever. They are, if they physically can, they are lower on the ground than you. But if, you know, if you can give them the look and they respond, if you can say a word, use a tone, and they respond, that is what matters most of all. If you can, you know, if y'all are getting kinky and have a scene, you can give them the sensation that, you know, help, whatever it is that gets them in their submissive mindset. It doesn't matter how big or small you are.
Nope.
Not at all. Okay, here we go. I have a new play partner. He likes to be dom, but he's shy and doesn't dare to do much. How can I support him and help him gain the confidence to be more dominant and show him new things and what I like without feeling like I'm topping from the bottom? So let's start with that last question.
Okay.
You're going to talk to your partner about what you like.
Yeah.
You're going to negotiate it.
That's all part of the negotiation.
Right. So it should not be coming out of nowhere and then you feel like you're topping from the bottom. Right. Now, you may need to teach and show your partner what to do. Even if you are not a service submissive, think of it as an act of service. Yeah. Think of it as a thing that you are doing to make your dom's life better in the moment. You are not topping from the bottom. You are providing unnecessary information. Right. You're keeping everybody safe. You're making sure that your dom can do the thing that needs to be done. That is never topping from the bottom.
Yeah, you know, because you're coming into this, you know, you don't know what the dom's needs and wants are.
Right.
He doesn't know what yours are. So, you know, no, it's not. You have to have that conversation. That's an important conversation to have. Right.
So, and, you know, there does tend to be this, because we've talked about it a million times over all these years, this mindset of, am I really submissive if I'm kind of leading this moment, if I am explaining these things to them, if I'm showing them things. Here's the thing. You explain stuff, you show them. Sometimes you do have to correct. People don't always do it right the first time or two, right? And then you back off and you let them do. As long as they're within your boundaries and you don't need to say for it out or you're not having a bad time, whatever. Right. You've informed and educated. Sometimes that's by physically showing somebody. And then you go, okay, you got it. You know what I like. You step back. The dominant part is where they choose how and where to do that thing. Right. You know, assuming they're also doing other things that you enjoy, even if it's not that one specific thing. The bigger question, I think, is may be something you can help with. It's because he likes to dominate, but he's shy and doesn't want to do too much, isn't confident. That's a confidence thing, because you could be shy and be a dominant. That's not a problem. Yeah. How can I support him and help him gain the confidence to be more dominant?
I think one of the biggest things that can help is, you know, after any kind of scene, you know, I mean, be honest, but, you know, hey, that was really good. You this thing you were doing, I really liked it. That was great. Mm-hmm. Okay, that kind of thing goes a long way to helping build somebody's confidence. Mm-hmm. Suggest if it's possible in your area, workshops. Mm-hmm. To both of you attend and you learn things. Mm-hmm. That's another way of doing it. Mm-hmm. So
the other thing is the boring answer of it takes time.
Yeah,
you kind of go low and slow. So like if it's a specific kink activity, I'm going to use impact because that's our thing and it's just easy to do examples for. If they've never spanked somebody ever, then we're not going to hand them a crop and go to town, right? We're going to start with hand on ass.
I've said it before. I have flogged many a pillow into submission practicing.
Right. There's practice, and then there's also practice on inanimate objects, sure. But there's also what y'all do. So you might not, in the beginning, be doing as much as you would like to, as intricate as you would like to, but that's so that they have time to learn and gain some confidence. So let's say it's a spanking and they're willing and you're both willing, blah, blah, blah. Well, they're going to start out slow, smacking your ass, right? They're going to do some test strikes and you're going to provide feedback. You're going to go, that felt great. You can go harder, not that hard, whatever. And they're going to learn how, what that feels like as they do it for you and them. Correct. When somebody's new, either or both of you, when somebody's new to Kinky Play or Power Exchange, in the beginning, the one who knows more, has more experience, whatever, you do it's a lot of feedback. It's a lot of try the thing, give the feedback, try the thing, give the feedback. Because that's how the person who doesn't have a clue is going to learn, this works, this doesn't, I know how to do that. Okay, I tried this, that didn't work, whatever. And it's not the like fantasy scene where, you get to like, let somebody take total control and turn your brain off. It, you can get there, but you got to give them time to get there. On the doesn't want to do too much, is it like doesn't want to hurt you? You're going to have to give a lot of feedback. You're going to have to go, I can take it. I want more, and then they might move at a slower pace than you want, but as long as there's some level of forward movement, I think you're fine within their own boundaries. Like there are absolutely doms and just people in general, but doms who are like, I don't want to hurt anybody that much. I'm not interested in that. Yeah. So there's also the navigating that, like, where are their boundaries? Where are their limits
and boundaries?
And when you're new, sometimes your boundaries are very close. It's a very small little Venn diagram of what you're willing to do. But as you gain experience and confidence,
that's grows.
Yes, exactly. Okay. This one. Should I still call my D partner daddy if they use it with another person? I don't know if they finished their sentence because it says if they use it with another person to mean much. I'm not sure what that part meant, but is it should I still call them daddy if somebody else is calling them daddy? That's personal.
Yeah, it is.
That's personal.
Yeah.
I think I'm much more relaxed about this than I used to be. We used to have a rule that I was just like, I don't like the idea of anybody calling you daddy. You're my daddy. I think I could handle it better now. I don't know. That might have been insecurity. But my question is, if you had me and another partner calling you daddy, like, can you imagine how you might feel? Like, would that be weird? Would you be like, okay, that's a big deal. I can separate it in my mind.
Man, would that be an ego boost?
I assure you there is somebody on the internet who would love to call you daddy. Get consent first, y'all.
So, I don't know. I honestly don't know.
I wish we had another person here so you could just hear it like in stereo.
Yeah. Because of how you had felt about that, you
never let yourself think about it?
No. And, like one called me Papa Bear, So.
And that was the same vibe, same energy.
Yes.
So I think it's personal preference, ultimately. Can you use the same honorific title label with a partner that somebody else is using? Of course you can.
Yeah.
If it makes you uncomfortable, it's not on that other person to change. It's on you to decide to change, to find another term that hits right, but
that works for
is
you.
different enough that you're like, okay, this is my special thing to call them.
To some people, that is important. That's that's a very personal thing.
It's a very intimate thing to what you call your partner, or, whatever. So you do not have to change anything, but you can. But if you can't control what the other person does, right? You can only control you. Right. So if you don't like the idea of two people using that same title, like whether it's a former partner or a current partner and you either have to decide that it ultimately doesn't matter to you, or you have to decide what you're going to call them instead. Like, because if we're talking about a former partner, well, you can't change that. That's in the past now.
Right.
And if it's another partner or another person like daddy, that could be their child calling them daddy. That's why I kind of giggled when I read this, because I was like, we've had this conversation. Would I call JB daddy if my own father, who I called daddy for the first 22 years of my life, because that's how long he was alive, if he was still alive? And I can't answer that because I'm not in that position.
Yeah.
I don't have to know what that feels like.
I mean, you can, conjecture and guess and all that, but
exactly,
you never know how you're going to react or feel until you're actually in the situation. Or so in that moment.
There's no should. There's no, because there's no right or wrong. What works for the two of y'all, what feels good for you, just how do you feel about it? And that feeling is valid. It's the actions that are going to matter more. You can't demand somebody else say something different. You can only change your behavior. If you don't like the idea that they are daddy to somebody else for any reason, relationship, power exchange, parenting, like whatever the reason, if you don't like that, then pick something else. And there are so many terms you can use, and I'll try to remember to link this in the show notes and in YouTube after we're done streaming. I came across and utilize a lot massive long lists that somebody on Reddit created for the online kink community of all these terms you can use to call your dominant, what to call your sub, so that because you can get creative and it'll maybe spark some ideas if you do decide to call them something other than daddy. Okay. I am a sex positive therapist. How do you think most kinksters feel about therapy?
Most?
I have no idea what most of anybody thinks.
I mean, I can tell you what I think.
Right.
And I think it's good. I think it's helpful. I was in therapy.
I would go back if we could.
And I would go back in a heartbeat if I could afford to right now, yes.
Yep.
Absolutely. But, I believe in it. I think therapy is a good thing. It helps.
Right. This is pure conjecture. I have no way of knowing. I don't know if anybody's ever done like any sort of survey of the kink community.
Yeah.
Because overwhelmingly, the kink community understands the need for open and clear communication and boundaries and consent, and negotiates these things well, or tries to, or learns to negotiate them well, and navigate them well. I think in theory, probably more kinksters than not are absolutely open to therapy, willing to do it, understand it's a net good for so many. But it's hard to know, because I'll say again, kink community is just a cross-section of humanity, and there are absolutely people who don't think therapy is real, who refuse to talk to somebody, who are like, I'm not gonna, talk's not gonna fix my problems. What's it there? Like, of course there are. But there's probably something to it that studies have found that in general, on an average, a spectrum of, like, statistically, kinksters tend to have, better mental health outcomes than non-kinksters. One article I read several weeks ago, I put it in our newsletter because I put those kinds of articles in our weekly newsletter, talked about how, when you are free to be who you truly are, and you tend to be happier than the average person who maybe is not living their truth. So there's probably something there as well.
And I know for a while too, there was a thing going around, people that I'm trying to think of the words, how to put the words, that kink can be therapeutic,
but it's
but not
therapy.
Therapy. Yes.
Right. And people do try to use it as therapy, which does not usually end well for either partner. No. The thing I would say, not because there's no way to know how most kinksters feel about therapy. Here's what I will tell you. From my experience, this is anecdotal. I have no data. The kinksters who want therapy, would have a therapist in a heartbeat if they had the resources for it, are seeking a therapist. What they want, in the conversations I've had, is a kink-aware therapist. They either don't want to have to hide that they're kinky, even if they're not really going to talk about it. Things come up, like, hell, what if you saw a bruise around their wrist because they had some, you know what I mean? And they're like, it's a bruise. It gets weird when you don't feel comfortable to just go, I'm kinky and we did this thing this weekend, right? Some of us, ourselves included, the first time I went to a therapist, I was looking for a kink-aware therapist because I needed to be able to talk about my relationship, and to understand our relationship, you have to understand the dynamic.
Exactly.
What kinksters have told me, and I agree, I don't want to do this either, is I don't want you to just be open to kink. I want you to have a very limited basic awareness of what it is. That's what a lot of people say is, I don't want to have to teach my therapist what the fuck a power exchange is just to get through to the conversation about whatever, right? Or to wonder, oh God, are they going to think that I'm automatically being abused because I'm the submissive? So regardless of how many kinksters want therapy, believe in therapy, go to therapy, no way of knowing unless somebody does the study on that. I think it's more important for therapists who know that the kink community exists to just bare bones get more than just an awareness of kink, get a basic, like real basic understanding of power exchange and kink dynamics and BDSM, and then put yourself in spaces where kinksters are. They'll come to you. I mean, we did this years ago when we still lived in the Tampa Bay area, and I know we've tried to do it here, and we probably could if we have. We will go on FetLife and look for folks for any service industry if they're kinky. Our HVAC guy is a kinkster. No. Does he listen to the podcast?
I don't know.
If you do, hi, you know who you are. Yep. I won't out you because privacy concerns and all that. In the past, when we were looking for an accountant who let us down seriously, the first one, kinkster. The second one, also a kinkster. So, I think not all.
Our real estate.
Yes, was from the kink community. That's the thing I found. Not with every kinkster. We're not a monolith. But kinksters who think about things like that, who maybe, like us, your whole life is kinky, and your kinky shit is all over your house, and you got to get a service from somebody. We're looking for kinksters or people who are openly kink friendly. That's who we want. Because we don't need the judgment. We don't want to hide anything. For me personally in therapy, I don't want to explain kink to you. I'm not there to be Kayla Lord's loving BDSM content creator. Okay? I am there to tell you all of the sludge in my brain. So
and that's kind of what ended up happening with me. That's why I ended up.
Yeah, it was a little less effective. Yeah. Now, if you are, and I'll try to remember to put this in the link in the places after this stream. There is a site through the National Coalition of Sexual Freedom. Whew, it took me a second.
I know.
They keep a page up of a database of people who add themselves under all kinds of industries across. I've seen primarily the U.S., but I think in other countries and on other continents, if you are a kink-friendly, kink-aware, whatever, professional of some sort, therapists are a big one. I've personally, I think, used the site mainly for that, but there are other industries there. So if you are looking for somebody like a therapist, we'll link to it after we're done streaming. You can do that. If you yourself are a kink-aware professional and would like to get in front of more kinky people, that is one place to do it. Because those of us who know about that site fucking use that site. Okay, last question. Okay. How did you two spin up your DS dynamic while long distance? What got you started?
Well, what started it for us was we just dipped our toes in it.
Yeah, because we were talking and flirting and realizing we liked one another. Not necessarily liked, but like we were friends with one another. We got along on that way. And we both met knowing we were kinksters. So there was none of this like introducing.
No.
I know a sub. He knows Dom. We came at it from that. So as the friendship developed, I asked you to, in a dominant way, help me with something. I think it's the same old thing I've been asking you to help me with for all these years. We haven't sorted it yet. And that was the start. You know, we were still being friends. We were still, I would play 20 questions by text message. And I mean that literally. What is your favorite color? What's your favorite dessert? What's your favorite this? I would be I remember one particular time I was at Captain D's. I was like eating lunch and texting you, and we were playing 20 questions. But we started with a thing that was not sexual at all. It was a task-oriented kind of thing, while still developing the friendship and fairly quickly going beyond friendship. Once we got beyond friendship and it got sexy, then there was more to it, because then we were playing with orgasm control, and we were just playing with control in general, and
I was picking out panties for you to wear, and
I had to send a picture every day. Making the panty database, that was peak geeky nerdy kinky shit, because I had to for somebody who doesn't wear underwear regularly now, I have a shit ton of underwear. I did then too, because I love me some pretty panties. I had to take a picture of every single pair of underwear I owned. And the method we had back in the day, because this was 2013, god damn, I uploaded all those to a Dropbox file. And Jamie would send me a picture of which panties I was wearing that day, so he could stay organized and I could stay organized. But you too can feel submissive taking pictures of your underwear. It was a slow and steady kind of thing, because we were long distance. There wasn't a lot of task oriented stuff. Every once in a while you'd be like, can you look this up for me? Can you whatever, or I'd offer to help you with something. And it was for us mostly sexual, because that was a very easy way to play with power dynamics. We would be talking on the phone. The way I woke up every morning was JB would call me, and then he would talk me through masturbation, and either I got a whole bunch of orgasms, or maybe I got one after way too long of being edged. And I do think if there's a sexual component, it feels easier because there's so much power play you can do in sex. It's not required. You'll have to be creative if you're long distance, and it's either service oriented or maybe some self application of kinky stuff for the benefit of your partner, right?
Because I even had you doing research on different kink topics,
and basically writing little mini papers. Which all you were doing was getting me prepared to be Kayla Lord, sex blogger and sex writer. I appreciate you.
Doing it and I didn't know what I was doing.
Exactly. But that, we started out as friends, but we both knew what we were, and we were like, that was never a secret. Nobody had to divulge.
No.
Because we met online. Like people ask, where do I go to meet somebody? I'm like, well, you can go back to 2012 and start a sex blog. That seemed to work for some of us. And I mean, not just me. I know several people who met short-term and long-term partners through the comment section of sex blogs. And so, but we started out with banter. Like, he was posting silly shit on his blog, and I was cracking up at a time when I was bleeding all over the pages of my sex blog, because I had my first power exchange and my first power exchange breakup. And so he was being kind and sweet without coming across as creepy. And I do not know how to tell somebody how to do or not do that. It is a vibe, okay? I get a vibe when I'm thinking, if I saw you in person, I would think you were slimy and please go away from me. And the person who feels like a genuine person and I don't know how to help you differentiate, it's a vibe. But the vibe was good. And we started out talking. I contacted him first. I never do shit. To this day, I never do shit like that. And it was a friendship thing, It was an understanding we were both dom sub, sure. But he knew what I was going through because I was writing about it, and I knew I was not interested in a relationship, but I was really drawn to him because he was a cool dude who did funny shit on the internet and talked to me like I was a person and not a potential sex object. It makes a difference. I don't know. But yeah, it was friendship first. Yeah. It was non-sexual power exchange. Just, can you please help me with this thing? And then it grew from there because, again, I go back to I do take my own advice. We did this non-sexual power exchange, and he continued to be who he had been before we tried power exchange. Mm-hmm. He earned my trust. He explained himself. He was the first adult human I'd ever witnessed give clear communication and say the thing he was thinking. I had not in a healthy way. I'd had unhealthy ways of people telling me what they were thinking, and thank you for the trauma. But JB was like, let me explain myself to you. Here's what I like. Here's what I don't. Here's what we're going to do. And I went, okay, I like this because I already like the vibe. And so it grew from there. And as long distance, we added visits to it. And our long distance for us was highly sexual. We were way more sexual in our power exchange while we were long distance than we have been since living together. Yeah. And that's 11 years. We moved in together June 2014. And we had some sexy fun times in the beginning. We had a lot more energy 11 years ago.
Yeah. Huh.
But the day-to-day life of it became less, it's way less focused on sex. Like, sex for us is kinky sex, but our fuckery almost never has sex involved. No. We'll do impact scenes, we'll do this scene, that scene, and no sex is involved at all. Right. But long distance, for us, so much sex. So much sex. I wish I could give good advice for people who are in non-sexual power exchange long distance. I think you just play with your dynamic. Like, what kind of sub are you? What kind of dom are you? It's a lot of talking. Whether you're verbalizing it or you're typing it or whatever, it's a lot of communication, and it's a lot of imagination. JB could spin up via text, via email, did not matter, could spin up a whole fantasy for me of what he was going to do to me and what he wished he could do to me. And that worked too, you know. We had whole fantasy kink scenes. Now, thankfully, he learned real quick. I don't dirty talk. I don't know what I'm doing. I feel very awkward. What am I supposed to, I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to say. And so then I freeze. So he was very okay with spinning up the conversation via text and me going, or I didn't speak quite in emoji then. We didn't have quite as many emojis even in 2013 as we do now. But if an emoji could fit, I would, and he would just keep going. Thank God. You know, I've always felt kind of lucky in that to not be comfortable with, not do dirty talk. I just can't. And I've always felt like I was lucky to be the submissive, because you could just take the reins and say the shit, and I just had to kind of respond to let you know I was engaged with, you know, I was paying attention, I was into it. Oh, yeah. But like, as a submissive, sometimes there's no fucking expectation that you say a goddamn word, and I know you might think I find that difficult, but not in those moments. I was grateful. I was like, nope, I don't even have to say anything. I'm needed here, but I'm not needed here, if you know what I mean. So yeah, there was a lot of sexual stuff. Once we decided we were going to move in together and we mapped out a plan, the first plan was he was going to move up there because I didn't want to have to like uproot the kids. And then we realized we could not make that work. Like, everything we tried, nothing worked. Yeah. You could not find a job up there. So frustrating. And so then we started making plans for me and the kids to move down to the Tampa Bay area. And everything got easier once we went that direction. It was like, that was the direction we were supposed to go. And then there was more task-oriented stuff. Because we were already figuring out how we divide labor between us anyway. But JB could go, hey, I'm going to need you to do blah. And I would go, okay. And then there I was being all submissive, right? Yes, I was helping to plan our own future. Sure. But the mindset was like, I'm doing this for my daddy, you know? But it's long distance. Get ready in whatever way you communicate best to communicate a fuck ton. Imagination kind of stuff, the fantasy stuff, and also the how's your day, what are you doing, what does life look like for you today, and whatever your power exchange ends up being, you know. I want you to do this thing every day for me. That was his thing. Every morning he would pick my panties. Every morning before I got dressed for work, I had to send him a picture of me wearing those panties. I had a great mirror closet with a mirror door, full length, really wide. I could get some great angles. I should have been taking more pictures then. But anybody who knows me from all the booty pics I used to post on Instagram, me in my underwear, that's where that started, doing it for JB. I don't have good lighting or good mirrors anymore, and I don't like how the pictures come out, so I don't do it anymore. Also, I barely wear underwear, so whatever. But yeah, I mean, it developed over time, and wherever JB could take control that made sense, we negotiated, and I'd let him. Wherever I'm a service sub, I think service subs have it easier because I could be like, I'll do that for you, and I'm in my submissive mindset. But I would take on as many tasks as I could for him. You know, long distance, it was harder. There was a lot more research. I think once I did call your dentist for you.
I think you're right, yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
That's when I had a job where I had to talk on the phone, so it was no stretch for me to pick up a phone and call a rando number and, like, just talk to somebody. But, you know, that's how we did it. And it was little by little, over time, adding more and more. And at some point deciding, we don't want to be apart anymore. We don't want this to be visits every, 6 to 8 weeks. We want to be together every day. And then we started mapping out life, what that would look like and how we were going to get there.
Excuse me.
And I think that is probably when our power exchange just became interwoven through the relationship. Because everything we did just had the flavor of power exchange, because you've been the decider from day one. If there's a decision to be made, I'm going to defer to you. And so even in the move, I knew what I wanted and needed and required, like, as a parent, but I was still going to bring him the options and be like, what do you want to do, Daddy? And that's where he was in his dominant self a lot. Because once we got to the stress of, like, picking up lives and moving and all of that stuff, we were still sexual, but it does put a damper on us sometimes. Yeah. So, yeah, that's how we did that. And I know it's the boring answer. I know it can be the very dissatisfying answer. People, like, kind of were like, ugh, I just want this to have happened 10 minutes ago. God damn, talk to somebody that you vibe with, that you like talking to, right? Like, whether that's through the DMs or just on social or in person, like, and you're not always going to know right away if the vibe is right. Like, I've come across people, and because of my headspace, because of their headspace, I didn't think that was a bad vibe. Those are different. If I get a bad vibe, you very rarely get a second chance with me. But there was no vibe, and so I didn't know, and it was polite conversation. And then the next time I came across them, I was in a different headspace. They were in a different whatever. And then you could tell if the vibe was good. If the vibe is good, just keep chatting. Like, again, without this is going to be my next kinky partner. Like, you don't know. You don't know. You know, if you start making those plans after the first conversation, but by the fourth conversation, you're like, oh my God, this person, do I need to call somebody on this person? You know what I mean? Like, the vibe is all wrong. You know, now there's disappointment, or you're now having to extricate yourself out of situations that you would never put yourself in if you had known what they were like. You know what I mean? Just fucking be friends with folks. Like, get to know, just talk to them. I say that as somebody who doesn't want to talk to anybody. I'm telling you, if I could tell you how to get in a time machine and go back to 2012 and start a sex blog when people still commented on blogs, I did figure out that part of my blogging thing was the dopamine rush of people commenting when it was positive. Positive. And I don't get that from blogging anymore. Very few people comment. And so now, for different reasons, but one of those reasons is it's not as interesting to me when he's talking to me. But yeah, X said it in live chat. Talk to people without expectations.
Yeah.
This idea is to just, are they an interesting human that I would like to be around again at the next munch, or to be around them because they're an interesting human, not because they're your soulmate in disguise. And, you know, if you get in there real fast, you'll figure, like, it's a very dissatisfying answer. I know. And I think that the dynamics shift a little bit if where you're at is, let's say, a play party or a dungeon where there's a heightened, like, half these people are naked and there's a lot of screaming and crying consensually, and like that's a different vibe, and you might be more in your play mode than in your get to know you mode. And there's nothing wrong with starting there, but because
gotta start somewhere.
I get that, like that's a whole like, oh yeah, I'm gonna watch this person wail on that person and I'm feeling all kinds of things about that, and oh, they're gonna come talk to me now, like that's. But even then, you're talking to them because you think they're interesting, or you're talking to them because you think they were good at whatever you saw them do. No expectation that you're going to be their next one. You know what I mean? Anyway.
Anywho.
Those were all the questions.
Okay.
Thank y'all for those of you who submitted them. They were really interesting.
Good questions.
As usual with a Q&A, my throat hurts. I'm trying to get back to it. I do think that was the last one. Pretty positive. Yeah, that was it. That's all I got.
Okay. So are we good?
Well, we will go into a bonus section, and yes, I guess we are.
Okay.
Keep it kinky, y'all. We'll see you next week at 3 p.m. Eastern. Da-da.
Yes, baby girl.
Can we talk to the crickets?
Sure.
Podcast listeners, at 3 p.m. is meaningless to you if you only listen. It's still Friday for y'all, but we are changing our live stream time. So just a reminder, 3 p.m. Do you want to know what I've been wanting to say every time I've said 3 p.m.?
What?
I know we're in Eastern. Been in Eastern all this time. My brain keeps wanting to say Central. I don't know why. I've not lived in Central Time Zone since 2014.
Cool.
But for like 2 days, every time I've thought of a time, my brain is like, Central. No, not Central. That is how we start mass confusion with everybody. I gotta at least keep the time zone straight. So, what you got for the bonus section? Are you ready to talk about your tummy?
Yeah.
We're waiting for the office call so he can go get a CT scan.
Right.
We've been waiting for a day and a half.
For those of you who remember, a month or so back, I had some tests done. Wasn't feeling so hot. First thing they said was heart. And they wanted to rule that out. And they did. Everything, cardiovascular, all that is good.
I can't wait till we can stop paying on the payment plan for it.
Right. Yeah. And they put me on medication for GERD. Is it called?
GERD. I don't remember what all the letters stand for.
Me either. And it did help for a while until it stopped helping. So day before yesterday, it was really bad. I told Kayla, I need to see a doctor.
I'm willing to see a doctor now.
Yeah.
So I called for him.
Right. And went in, and we were talking back and forth, and then they started, do you still have your gallbladder?
You? For now, at least.
Yeah. And, possible ulcer, and so, they want to do a abdomen-ish CT scan.
Pelvis and abdomen.
Yeah.
CT.
And kind of in limbo, was supposed to waiting for the call today.
Yeah, our doctor wanted him, to the best of possibility, to do it
yesterday.
The day of the appointment, which is the day before recording. Thankfully, our doctor's office is connected to a lab that's all in-house. It's a medical center, blah, blah, blah. So they send us down the hallway for him to get some lab work. I won't tell the other part, but that part is cute if you want to share it.
No.
Damn. Oh, it's so adorable, but I won't. Anyway,
Thank you.
Lab work. And so then we're waiting for the results because they had explained we're going to have to get authorization for the CT scan, meaning from insurance. Yeah. And they won't give authorization until lab results are in. And so our doctor took this seriously enough that she was rushing everything. Everything was stat. So we're like, okay, and we're sitting in limbo. We're at the office waiting for somebody to come say, okay, we're going to schedule your CT scan or okay, whatever. Nobody comes. Finally, the assistant to the doctor comes and is like, okay, we're going to let you go home because nothing's happening as quickly as we wanted it to.
Right.
Here's what you need to prep for the CT. They're going to call you and give you a time to come in. We're going to try and make it for Wednesday, the day we're recording. They did not call.
So I spent my whole day pretty much on hold, waiting for the phone call. And I say on hold, I wasn't doing nothing, but I was
still in that place of like anticipate.
I was doing little things that I could just drop in a...
Right, exactly.
And so, yeah, it didn't happen. And, kind of waiting on the insurance now, it seems.
Probably.
Yeah.
Knowing insurance companies. Because it's often did you do all these other 10 million things that aren't as effective as this one test the doctor wants to do? But there's also human error. Our doctor was on it, and everybody in her office was on it yesterday afternoon. But if they weren't still on it, because they've got patients coming in and they've handed it off to whoever does the scheduling at the lab, that might have fallen through cracks. They might not realize this is... Because they were saying, when you go get your CT scan, when you are done with your CT scan, which is at another building, you're going to drive back over here.
Over here, yeah.
And let them know you're here to see the doctor, and you will be seen in between whoever. Like, that's how seriously the doctor was taking it.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be an insurance problem, but it probably is. I won't be surprised.
Yep.
And I'm like, I hope they will let us add on to your current payment plan. We haven't met our deductible yet. And, we still get like, air quote this, big old air quotes, discounted prices. But a CT scan, I know for an MRI, they quoted me $300 or $400 with our insurance plan. I don't know if a CT scan would be less than, same as, or more.
Yeah,
your echocardiogram between both procedures was about $500.
Yeah.
Yeah, about $500.
Yeah.
Maybe $600. No, it was about $600. It was something. I had to put it on a payment plan.
Yeah. And, I do have to do the oral contrast. Have the bottle sitting in the
Poured
fridge.
into Powerade.
Yep. So, yeah, I will have to do that.
Yeah, like, we're ready to go.
Yeah. I just want some answers at this point. I just want to know really what the hell is happening.
I want you to find relief and answers, but I think now I'm a little bit on edge is too strong. Like, I'm personally fine, and as long as he's doing mostly okay, I'm good. But because our doctor, who is very level-headed, we adore her, was like, I want this information as fast as you can get it to me. Now I'm like, oh, wait. Okay. She's trying to move fast. Should we be worried? I'm not going to worry until I have something to worry about. But should we? Do I need to prep myself for worry? Sort of like when you were, because we were seeing whoever could fit you in when it first started.
Right.
And due to age and medical history, they were like, heart, it's your heart. And I was like, you're going to make my heart stop beating. Stop saying that. And that was a very... sort of like on edge moment, because the heart, that's serious. It's like crazy serious. But yeah, her urgency is making me feel like we need to be urgent about this.
I'm trying not to read into it too much. I'm just like, hopefully she's thinking, well, this has been going on. Let's, kind of push this and get it resolved. That's how I'm seeing it.
Well, and I did think, I saw her eyebrows raise when you were like, the medication for GERD was working, and now it's not. And I think that's when she went, wait, that's not supposed to happen.
Yeah.
And, yeah. If she hadn't been so urgent, I think we'd be like, okay, it sucks. We would like some answers, but okay. Yeah. Now we're like, who's going to call? When are they going to call? Poor JB's taking his phone with him everywhere, and if he has to, like, be in the bathroom for anything, he's like, here is my phone. Please babysit.
Yeah.
Now that's funny to me. You waiting on a call from the doctor, which would make sense. It is your medical situation, your blah, blah, blah. But I am the one who calls to make all the appointments. We use the online portal that our office has. I send all of the written messages. I have to make sure, because we are both in the same portal, but with two different logins. I have to make sure I'm logged into the right one, and that I remember to write his name at the end, like, because of course I'm an old lady. I write it like it's an email and not just like so I don't say like, dear doctor, whatever. I don't do that, but like we sign it at the end. Thank you, comma, name. And there have been a couple times I've scared myself going, did I put his name for this one? This was his account. But yeah, I have to remind myself when we're in there, because I'm used to calling to go, here are the symptoms, here's what we need, blah, 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 blah. Or when I'm messaging, here are the symptoms, can we get a refill on this prescription, blah, blah, blah. We're in the office, they know us, frickin' frack, they know we come as a pair. You will never see one without the other at the doctor's office. I have to remember and hold myself back from explaining his symptoms to the doctor. But it's a good thing I'm there, because he sometimes won't mention some of his symptoms. And I'm like, tell her about the nausea. Don't forget the nausea.
I just didn't want her to think I was nuts on that one.
Well, that was not just... I didn't think you were going to tell her about your sneeze thing. Would you like to explain that one? You Googled it, so it's a phenomenon other people have experienced.
It is something that other people have experienced. I Googled it, and basically what happens sometimes in the morning, before I eat, I will feel a little nausea. It's not like, I'm running to somewhere,
it's just that sicky feeling.
It's that feeling. Well, it just kind of sits there, and then I'll sneeze. And it's gone.
The nausea's
gone. Yeah.
The look on her face when she was, because you could see her like wheel spinning. Like, okay, what mechanism would be causing?
Right.
Is that really happening?
I stumped the doctor.
I was like, oh, and I'm looking at her. I'm like, is he a medical marvel? Is that what we're discovering?
And that's when I piped up. I said, I'm not the only one.
I Googled it. I started. We are a delight wherever we go together.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Thank God for this doctor.
Right.
I swear to God.
So yeah, that's been that for this week, and you've just been kind of you may have to be making a trip to see the oldest this weekend.
I have to.
Yeah, that's right.
His medication. I still need to remind myself to go pick up his medication from the pharmacy, and then I would drive it to him. Which, you know what? I can't even complain about that, because now that he has more of a social life than he had the first 2 years of college, I never hear from this child. Never, ever hear from this child. Like, wait, I think I was supposed to have this experience when he was 18. I got used to hearing from my kid. For freshman and sophomore year, he would text, not every day. We'd go several days without text. But if I realized it had been 5 to 6 days without a text, no fail, by the 7th day he was calling me, wanting to talk, needing something, blah, blah, blah. I do not hear from that child. And I am finally on track to be the parent who gets 1 and 2 word texts. I used to get books. Okay, he needed somebody to talk to, and I was there. Now he's got actual, peers his own age. God damn.
Right.
And now I have to, experience this. Wait, my child does not need me?
Right.
I was supposed to have gone through this 2 years ago. But it is weird. It's quiet.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. Lola's doing good. She's sleeping by my feet.
Yeah. I heard her call her when she shook her head or whatever.
Yeah. She's been doing good. She's
Yeah, knock on wood, it's been quiet with the girls. Onyx has become, and I say aggressive, I mean it in a friendly way.
Yeah.
Very aggressive with her desire for love and affection.
Yes.
I'm still not allowed to pick this cat up. Y'all, it's not like I do not try. JB has managed it, twice now?
Twice now.
And a little bit longer each time, but not for very long. It's not like we're walking around cuddling her. Ella, you can pick up and hold her like she is a baby.
Yeah.
She tolerates it from the kids more than from us. But and Onyx is like, bitch, if you come under the undercarriage while I'm standing here, I'm out the door. But in the morning, she follows me around the house, and she has this very distinct meow, and it's clear she's annoyed with you when she meows at you, and she will follow me, and any flat surface I'm vaguely near, she's jumping on. So when I walk into the living room and I walk past her cat tree, she jumps on it, but then I walk past it, so she jumps on the top of the couch. Then I walk past that, and I'm going into the dining room, and she jumps on a chair, and then she jumps on the bench we have, and then she'll jump on my seat, and I'm like,
it's like, what is that they do? Parkour. That's what she's
and
doing.
Meowing the whole time.
Yeah.
So this morning, I took a few minutes. She followed me. I had to go to the bathroom, silly me. And I'm in the bedroom after, and she's on the bed. And I'm like, fine, I will give you something. We were there 10 minutes, and she still was not ready for me to leave. She came this close to licking my hand. She sniffed it real hard. Like, I could tell that her nose was wet. That's not an Onyx thing to do. I was like, okay, so you've got to, like, hit not quite middle age, and you're relaxed enough to let your nose touch my hand that you're aggressively head-butting. She gets so aggressive with, like, doing that swipe that cats will do, like, the side of their head to rub against you, but she'll do it against my hand that she'll literally get my finger is either trying to go up her nose or in her ear, and she just rolls with it. Like, that doesn't freak you out, but me trying to gently pick you up does.
Well, she in the evening before we go to bed, while I'm doing my little routine to get the house ready and everything, she expects
because you trained her to expect it.
Her brushing.
Oh yeah, she will be brushed at night.
Yeah,
she will let me brush her because she likes being brushed. She clearly likes the sensation, but it's not. I could spend an hour brushing her at any point in the day. 10 minutes before the normal routine, she would still expect the same treatment at the time.
Yep.
Okay. I will not get between a cat and her cat daddy. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I know better. Oh, speaking of, this time not cat daddy, dog daddy. The other night, over the weekend, I can't remember which day it was. Monday night? I don't remember what we were doing. Sunday night, because we did game night on Discord with the Patreon community. Okay, we get done with game night. We go about, do our thing. We go to bed. We're getting ready to go to bed.
Yeah.
Lola usually is already either in her crate or on the couch sleeping when we are getting ready to go to bed. She's done for the day. She comes in the kitchen. She leans against JB's legs. She leans against mine. We give her love, and we're like, what are you doing awake? Loving. And we're like, that's so weird. And JB's like, okay now, Lola. Okay, go to bed. And she's a good girl. She did it. We are in our bedroom. We are naked, y'all. We're ready to be in. We were in the bed.
We were ready. We were under the covers.
And JB goes, oh shit! I know why she was in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Why was she in the kitchen?
I forgot to give her big treat, evening treat.
Her dessert at night. It's like her last treat she gets, and it's her good one.
Her big premium treat for the day.
And so you absolutely know this man got up, put clothes on, went back out, got her out of wherever she was sleeping, and gave her treat, right? We all know that's what happened, right?
Of course.
Let me just say, if in the middle of the night I realized I had not gotten my Diet Coke during the day, sucks to suck. Lay your ass down and go to sleep. Just saying. I'm just saying. I am in third place after Onyx and Lola. It's fine. Ella's not really on the rating. Ella annoys the shit out of him.
Poor Ella.
Ella can do nothing right for JB. I'm the one who does litter boxes and cleans up outside the litter box because apparently her ass hangs over we have a lidded litter box because her ass really does hang over. She still manages to have her ass hang over out the entrance, and I clean up a lot of pee. But I like Ella more than JB does. And I'm cleaning up her piss.
Ella's brain dead.
She is not. She does not get possession of the brain cell. That is so true.
No.
We just look at her and go, "Thank God you're pretty." And she's she's so cute. She's so cute. She's got that perfect pink nose. She's got pink toe beans.
And she's got the fluffy fur and soft. Yeah.
And she will let you hold her like a baby. But she also whines. Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh God.
And because she's not allowed to hold the brain cell, Onyx has permanent possession.
Right.
And probably a couple extras because Onyx is smart.
Yeah.
She'll be eating her breakfast, and she's gotten slower about eating over the past several months. Not like she's not eating; she's just slower than she used to be.
She doesn't unhinge her jaw anymore.
Right. So she will not be done with her own food. Onyx eats primarily in the bedroom, so that she'll actually eat. If the bedroom door opens, because we're letting Onyx out, because I'm coming out, whatever, Onyx is done with her breakfast, Ella will stop eating her food to leave and go see if she can get whatever Onyx has left behind. Consistently.
Yeah.
It's like, Coral, you hadn't even finished this yet. Finish your own food.
Do you know? See, I feed the two cats first in the morning.
You have to, or oh my God.
Yeah.
They'd cry the whole time.
And once they're settled, then I feed Lola,
who is the ultimate good girl because she waits patiently.
She just sits there and waits patiently. Now, I made shelves in the kitchen so that the cats can eat up off the ground, so they're away. So
there's no worry about
Lola getting into their food.
That's before we knew how much of a good girl Lola is.
Yeah,
like Lola's gonna graze, but she'll let you leave your bowl. She won't like slurp in your bowl while you're in it. She's got manners.
Yeah. So Ella's spot where she eats is pretty much over where Lola eats. So when I prepare Lola's food, I bring it over. We do our little thing. She sits and does her little...
Oh, he's trained her. Like, he puts a finger up, and Lola just sits like a very pretty girl. I mean, he could probably train me the same way, but...
And she doesn't move until I put that finger down and say, go.
I don't know if I could do that. I don't think I'm as good a girl as Lola.
Yeah.
Too fidgety.
Yeah, no. But when I do that, she stops eating.
Ella does.
And Ella stops eating, and she's leaning over, and you're like, what they got? What they got?
Maybe it's better than mine.
Yeah.
Ella. Now, for all that JB acts like he does not like Ella, let me tell you, I think I've told this before, what he does. So, sometimes Onyx goes off her fucking feed, okay? And she doesn't want that flavor of wet stuff. Maybe it's batch wrong. Something they screwed up the recipe. I don't know. She'll want to eat it. So, we always keep dry food on hand for those times because sometimes when she won't eat wet, she will at least eat dry. To be kind to Ella, because Ella just wants a bowl of food in front of her. She does not know or care. Is it going to be wet? Is it going to be dry? That makes no matter to her.
Hot, cold, she don't care. She'll eat it.
In her bowl.
As long as it's put in front of her, she will eat it.
Right. But what JB will do, unprompted, when he gives Onyx a bowl of dry food, he sprinkles a little bit of dry food on Ella's food, and we call that her croutons. And he'll be like, that damn cat. I'm like, that damn cat, you still gave her croutons? She didn't ask for it. She didn't know to ask for it.
We're frenemies.
I think you love her. You just don't like her very much. You love her. You just don't like her. She would not be your friend in another universe. Anyway.
Yeah, anywho.
That's us and our crazy fur babies.
Exactly. So are we ready to call it a night?
Yeah.
Wrap it up?
I'm wearing too many, like, clothes that I can be seen in. I'm ready to, like, wear the stuff where my tits are practically hanging out, but I'm comfy, and that's all that matters.
I'm ready for very soft and very comfy, too, now.
And dessert. We have dessert.
That's right. Oh, yeah.
So we're going to go do that.
Yep. Okay. Dessert. It's apple.
It's an apple-based
dessert, so yeah.
Gotta go. And it's the last of it. Yeah. We finished it up. Anyway, we're going to go next week, Wednesday, 3 p.m. Eastern. I almost said Central again. That's when we'll be live streaming. Hopefully that's a time that works for folks who want to go to the stream and haven't been able to. We hope to see you there. Okay.
All right.
We'll be back next week.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.